Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Dr. Julius Nyeri, CBPM UNIA-ACL Division 421, Atlanta, Georgia. Today is June 12th, and it is 5:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And our topic for today is we're going to be going over the positions in the organization. And we have an election should be next meeting. I don't know the date right off my head right now, but that's our topic. Yeah. Okay, could you please repeat after me as I say the pledge to the red, black, and green? Please stand and face your flag. I commit my body, mind, and spirit.
I commit my body, mind, and spirit
to the protection, defense, and security.
To the protection, defense, and security.
The red, black, and green.
Of the red, black, and green.
I dedicate my life.
I dedicate my life.
To the redemption of Mother Africa.
To the redemption of Mother Africa.
And the liberation of us scattered Black children.
And the liberation of her scattered Black children.
I accept for myself and my descendants.
I accept for myself and my descendants.
The teachings of universal African nationalism.
The teachings of universal African nationalism.
And promise that our children will be instilled.
And I promise that our children will be instilled.
With the purpose and knowledge of themselves as African people.
With the purpose and knowledge of themselves as African people.
In order that the cause of our struggle.
In order that the cause of our struggle.
Will neither falter nor fail. Until all Black people are free and united.
Until all free and united.
Through one God.
Through one God. One aim.
One destiny.
One destiny.
One destiny.
Race first.
First of all, okay. Our guidelines for the call. First of all, our meeting is divided into two halves. The first half, we focus on the topic related to the organization, and then we will give you a chance to ask questions, and then we'll move on to our second half, which is member share. Everyone have 3 to 4 minutes to share on the topic of their choice. Please be considerate of the time when you're speaking so that everyone gets a chance to share. We ask that you take no longer than 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, we also have slots that are open. If you look at our calendar, it has TBA on there, and you could do a presentation between 15 minutes to an hour long. On those days, if you have something that you would like to present on that's going to take longer than the 3 to 4 minutes. To ensure we can hear our speakers, keep your phone on mute. Have a pen and paper available, or you can just use your notes in your phone to take member contact information, make a list of things talked about in a meeting, or any questions so you don't forget. There will be people on this call with different ideas and religions and opinions than that of your own. It's okay to disagree, but let's not become disrespectful and nasty towards one another. Ladies, do not give out your personal number during the call. Give out your business number or email, and do not use the N-word during the call. Be mindful of overusing curse words, because we do have elders and children that tune in sometimes. And I don't have a quote available for Marcus Garvey, like a new one for this week, but I'm gonna read the old one that I have attached to whenever I went over the offices of the division. So I'll just read that one. It's still valid. It says never buy anything for more money than you have or positively expect to have within the time limit for the purchase. Never give away money that you cannot spare. Never give away anything of value that can be turned into money except you can spare it. Never borrow on interest from anybody. If you can, within a reasonable time, pay your debts. If you pay your own debts with your own money, you will save the interest for yourself and that you pay to others. The moment that you start paying interest to others on money borrowed, you become a slave working for somebody else. It is better to wait until you have the money yourself to do a thing before you borrow it to purchase that thing and pay interest on it. I thought that was a valuable lesson. I know sometimes we can't do that because I know sometimes I can't when it's like something really expensive, but you know, that it does still have lessons in it that we can learn. Okay. I'm gonna pass it to our President John.
Thank you, Sister Tanea. And that quote sounds like it came from a course of African philosophy lesson on economy.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yes, very important information and excellent quote, First Lady Vice President. Before I go to roll call, well, no, let me just go to roll call. Well, yeah, we never do that, so I'm not going to start. Let me just go to roll call. So for the roll today, I'll fix my name while I'm here. So we have myself, Brother John, member number 306. I don't have everybody's member's number, but First Lady Vice President, Sister Tanea, member number 177. Our First Lady Vice President, Sister Tanea. Our First Vice President, Brother Omasius, member number 390. We have our Legal Defense Committee Coordinator, Attorney Imhotep. Dr. Shams, member representing out of Brooklyn, New York. Brother Art, member out of Annandale, Virginia. And we have a Darcyville. I don't know if you're a brother or sister. Darcyville, can you come on and introduce yourself briefly? Darcyville. Okay. We'll come back to Darcyville. And we have a Sister Delicia or Sister Adaku. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the conference line, and then on the 8 on the Zoom. And on the conference line, we have Brother Sean Baker, Brother Sean out of Baker, Louisiana, and Sister Erica, our Black Cross Nurse Coordinator. So 2 on the conference line, 8 on Zoom. That makes 10 total for tonight.
Okay. Did you want to start, or you want me to go over the positions first?
Positions first.
Okay.
Knock that out, and then.
All right. So these are the list of positions. President John says that we have to vote on all positions. So if you hear your position called, just know that we still have to vote. Okay, we have Office of President, Office of Lady President, Office of Honorable Advisory Board, and that's not a voting position. It's like the executive officers.
Yes.
Whenever we have a issue or something that happens in the organization that we need to vote on. Okay. Office of Executive Body, and it has TBA on there. So we didn't ever put that together. Office of Executive Secretary, office of first vice president, office of second vice president, office of third vice president. And those are all male offices. Then we have office of lady vice president, office of second lady vice president, office of third lady vice president. And then we have recording secretary. Oh yeah, let me stop while I'm thinking about it. I know that like the vice presidents or like gender specific, but the rest of the offices I call out, they're not, any gender can do it. And for each one, there can be a male and a female team member on it to lead it for each one.
Hold on, Sister Tanea, 1 second. I just want to pull up the list while you're going over it so people can see it. That's the only thing. I just wanted to stop for a second so I can pull it up. This is old, obviously outdated, but as far as the names, but the offices are accurate.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking at one of the old agendas from I think 2020.
Yeah, I gotta update this.
Whenever it's back when you was second vice president. That's how old it.
No problem.
Right now.
Okay, I think you were on the executive body.
I went through the vice presidents, and then I'm on recording secretary. Okay. And then, like I said, that can be a man or a woman. Like all the other offices can be man or woman, or it can be both a man and woman on there. So if somebody has the position and you want it, you can still have it if you're the opposite gender. And then, and also if you don't want to, okay, wait a minute, I haven't got to those offices yet. Because once I start getting to the committees, you can just be part of the committee. You don't have to lead. But these here are like one-person positions, I guess. I'm sorry, I'm confusing y'all. Okay, wait a minute. All right, financial. Okay, I'm at recording secretary, correspondence secretary, financial secretary, office of treasurer. Okay, here we go. When we get to the offices, now we're talking about when I say it can be a male and female in the office, but the other ones are one person, the ones above. So the office of treasurer, office of assistant treasurer, office of chaplain, office of trustee board, office of bank account for general funds, office of African Motor Corps. Wait a minute, the office of bank account general funds, it has the NV on there. So I know back when I went over this with President Ross, he was saying the reason why is because for some reason, like maybe something isn't working in the parent body, like on those particular offices. So even though that they are here, they're not like, they will have to open them in the parent body before, we can do them here. Like the office of motor corps, I know that that's not functioning on the parent body, but it is an office that we have. In the office of Universal African Legions, that's another one that's, it would have to come from the parent body. So.
Sister Tanea, may I comment?
Yep.
Well, you were correct on, from my understanding, Office of Bank Account for General Funds. We talked about this a couple weeks back. Our current Commissioner for Labor and Industries, President Clyde Banks out of Chicago 429, He put out a small presentation as to trying to get the divisions on the same page from a bank account standpoint, have us all banking with a black bank, one, and two, trying to get us all on one banking system. But the Office of Bank Account for General Funds would be through that organization that's established by the parent body. And as Sister Tanea said, that has not been completely finished, and that's why this position has remained open. In regards to the African Motor Corps and the Universal African Legion, we do have authority within our jurisdiction to exercise these offices. As long as we don't go against the Constitution or go outside of our jurisdiction, we do have the authority to have these offices functioning. We just haven't done it in the past. And in my discussions with President Ross Marvin, it was we were concerned on the African Legion side, and it talks about this in Course of African Philosophy. Garvey says we have to be very careful of the actions of the African Legion because they can easily, cause an issue that would have a disagreement between us and whatever nation we're under. So President Ross Marvin was very cautious and conservative in regards to having the African Legion functioning, but the Legion as well as the Motor Corps, we do have the authority to have those functioning within our division, and we will have those functioning soon. So I just wanted to make that small statement.
But because I can also add, it's Brother Macy's.
Go ahead, First Vice President.
Yeah, I also wanted to add that we did have a discussion about the African Legion during HEC. And I think the fourth Assistant President General is over organizing that, and I wanted to just bring that up.
Yes.
That.
Yeah, both of y'all are correct. The only thing to point out is two levels to it. One, there's a national level with the fourth Assistant President General, who will be the head of the African Legions. He will be in contact with the local presidents. But however, the local presidents still exercise authority over their jurisdiction. It's not, the Assistant President General does not have that authority. It's the local presidents. Sister Tanea, I was passing the mic back to you now.
Thank you. Thanks for clearing that up.
No problem.
Then we have Office of Agricultural, Office of African Redemption Funds. Okay, now that was another one. I can't remember what President Ross said about that, so I'm gonna leave it alone. But we have somebody in it, but I just know one of the last elections, he made me take it out. He made me like not having one in that position. Okay. Office of Arts and Culture, Office of the Black Star Cafe, Office of the UNIA-ACL Business, Office of UNIA-ACL Citizenship. Now he took that one out because he said that they had been doing the citizenship program.
Right.
So Office of Community Outreach, Office of the UNIA Constitution, Office of Education, Office of Elders, Office of the Garvey Voice Magazine and Whirlwind Newsletter, Office of the Historian, Office of the International Expatriate Movement, Office of the Legal okay, now he did take he took the Legal Defense Committee out and the Legal Defense Fund out because he said that they haven't been doing that in the parent body. So I know those two. I think President Ross said something, or maybe it was the Legal Defense Fund. I think that's what he said. I don't think the Legal Defense Committee, I don't think he would take that out, but the Legal Defense Fund, he said, yeah, to take that out. Office of Marcus Garvey Exoneration, Office of Membership, Office of Promotions, Office of African Prison Support, Office of Research, Office of Setup Committee, Office of the Universal African Black Cross Nurses, Office of Video Production, Office of Special Events, and Office of the Youths. So those were the offices I have.
Thank you, First Lady Vice President, Sister Tanea. And, you know, as we said in the beginning, tonight's meeting, the topic of tonight's meeting is preparation for elections. We, per the Constitution, I'm pretty sure it's in the Constitution, we're supposed to hold elections every year, and, you know, make sure the officers are reelected or new officers are elected each year. Our last election was at the end of June. So in 2 weeks, you know, will be 1 year, just about 1 year from that time. So this meeting tonight is focused on preparation for upcoming elections. And these offices, in essence, make up the executive body of the organization. There is a high executive, honorable advisory board. That's a small group, usually consists of president, lady president, and vice presidents. That's a small group. If we can't get the whole executive board together, we'll consult with the honorable advisory board. But we have monthly meetings at the beginning of each month, first Saturday of each month, and that's where we pull the executive body together. And as I was saying, the executive body consists of all of these elected positions, secretaries, vice presidents, office coordinators. So these positions are important. When it comes to decision making, these are the people that I look to, as president, because these individuals I know are serious, committed, and active members. So I lean on their opinions, or we as an executive body lean on our own opinions as a primary before we go outside to anyone else. So this meeting is to get everyone thinking about elections and about serving on the executive body for the Atlanta division. And for those that are serving currently, it's an opportunity to continue that service or step down or step aside if you feel, if you feel that way. And don't take it it's not meant to be taken any type of way, but it's just an opportunity for not necessarily new leadership, but a continuation of leadership and a transition of power in some senses. So I wanted to open the floor. If there's anyone that is interested in a position or interested in changing positions, if there's any positions that, if there's any positions that we feel are critical that we're missing, I would like, those individuals, individuals that recognize that to step up and to fill those gaps. But I just want to open the floor to the membership and see if there's anyone out there that is interested in serving on the executive body for Division 421. Baba James, you can come off mute.
What's going on with African Legion?
Brother Dreadlocks. I know you love that African Legion, my brother. What is going on with African Legion? We're waiting for the right leadership. If you feel like, you can be that person, I'm willing to give you that opportunity. One thing I will say about the Legion, coming out of the course of African philosophy again, the three main priorities that the Legion will serve is one, cultural pride. So a symbol of, manhood, womanhood, individuals, stepping up to protect their community and their people. So cultural pride. Two is, what's the second one? Physical education. So making sure brothers and sisters, actually the Legion excludes sisters currently. Based on the Constitution, it's only brothers. So physical education, making sure brothers are in shape and conditioned and have endurance. And the third one is discipline. Making sure the brothers follow code, so to speak. So that's where I would want us to focus. We would need to have a agreement on the vision for those three things, for culture, physical education, and discipline. We need to get on the same page, but it is an open office. I feel like it's a critical need. The parent body is starting to become more aware of the need of the Legions, the things that we see going on throughout the nation, is another reminder. So, Brother Dreadlock, if you're ready, we can make it happen. We can really start that.
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Well, do me a favor. Give me a vision on those three things: culture, physical education, what we can be doing as far as requirements, and discipline. What type of disciplinary code we should be following and adhering to.
Okay, will do.
Okay. But yeah, elections in 2 weeks. So I don't think there's anybody, fighting fighting anybody to try to combat each other for position. So as of right now, you'd be number one for that role, unless somebody else has a comment they'd like to say that I'm not aware of. So thank you.
Give thanks, race first.
Thank you, my brother. Race first. Any other questions, comments in regards to upcoming election and executive positions? We'd be so quiet at the wrong times. I heard somebody make a comment, but look, before you comment, just to stress the importance, we only do elections once per year. When individuals are installed into their position, they hold that position throughout the year, unless they have conduct that deems that they should be removed. But we haven't really had that issue. So, just stressing the importance of preparation. We only got 2 weeks to prepare, and then after that, people will be elected, and that will be our executive body for the remaining year. If there's anything that we have seen throughout this year or the past year that we disagree with or feel like could have been done differently, now is the time to step up and help us to guide the organization in that direction. All right, quiet group tonight. All right. No comments? Last
I just want to thank Brother Mason. I just want to say I'm definitely excited to continue the work that I've been doing, and and do an even better job than I have. So I'm excited for this next year, and hope that we can get everybody to step up. And, if you don't feel like you want to put yourself out there today, definitely think about it and email President John, give us a call, give him a call. I'll let them know, but we definitely need everybody. It's 12 on the call today, and I think it's over 20 offices or 20 positions that are out there. So everyone on the call is definitely needed, and whatever, speak to your ancestors, pray about it, whatever you do, but we definitely need everybody.
Yes, sir. Thank you, First Vice President. Yes, and there's room for everybody, I don't know why Lady President, she might not have got the text, but I talked to her earlier. I thought she would have been on. I'll open it up, put everybody on the spot really quick. Like I said, this is important. And I'm, after this 1 year of being in this position, of being in President Ross Marvin's shoes, I understand why he was so critical about trying to get the executive body together. We always talk about, membership and getting members and getting everybody in. And that is critical, and getting membership dues, that's critical. But as far as the functioning of the organization, that comes down to the executive body, who these individuals are, and our mindset, our resources, how we can work together. One thing I wanted to put everybody on the spot and just say, what could we do better this next year? That we didn't do as well last year or previous years. What could we do better?
Race first.
Race first, Dr. Shams.
Yes, I was thinking in terms of propaganda and media. Like for the first time ever, I heard them announce our organization in government on WBLS. I don't know who set that up, who put that out there, but it was pretty good. It could bring us more members, and hey, I'm glad I heard that.
Yes, sir.
We need propagation and media to bring more people in. Race first.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dr. Shams. And thank you for your continued support. Dr. Shams, an active member out of New York. And Dr. Shams, yes, you right on, spot on, absolutely correct. In fact, I think you brought this up months ago. You had talked about putting our stuff on YouTube or promoting, having better promotion, basically. So I have an update today as far as what we have done in the past and some of our future opportunities for promotion and propaganda. But I definitely agree with you. We need to do better. I've talked with our current promotions coordinator, is Brother James, and our primary mode of promotion thus far has been social media, Facebook, just Facebook, honestly, because we don't have an Instagram. We've talked about creating an Instagram, but to your point, mainstream media, other grassroots media, our own media, our own publications. Sister Tanea done an excellent job with our Whirlwind newsletter and sending that out on a nearly weekly basis. So yes, Dr. Shams, you're absolutely correct. Brother James has done a pretty good job in his first year in that role. But I will get with him and the other executives and find out some other ways that we can promote in addition to what I'll present later on in this meeting. Thank you, Dr. Shams. Excellent point.
This is Papa James, Brother Dreadlocks, race first.
Hold on one second, Brother Dreadlock, because conference line couldn't hear. Go ahead, Brother Dreadlock.
In response to our opportunities to be more vocal as to what we're doing as a UNI division and individual memberships, I'd like to chime in that for quite some time, we have our own social media platform, which can be used with our memberships testing and use. I'm available and would like to join with other members who have time and availability to increase its usage, not only amongst our division, but other divisions. The name of the website is called Garveyites Worldwide. If any of our members want to test it out, try it out, or so forth, they can reach out to me. And as a division, we can grow this opportunity to create our own media where we can tell our own stories about how we are making changes as UNIA members.
Yes,
As UNIA members, we accomplish things daily. However, we don't take the opportunity to express those things that we accomplish because for quite some time, what we've been doing is been in the shadows.
yes, sir.
And, you know, at some particular point in time, the light of who we are is necessary.
Mhm.
You know, people want to know what we're doing and what we're accomplishing and who and what it takes to be a UNI member. You know, if you want to know that your neighbor is a UNI member and what they're doing, you know, you have to have that opportunity to speak on it. And if you keep it to yourself, because we've responded, you know, as if we're a covert operation,
Mhm.
and we're not.
Very true.
You know, the UNIA is as public as the hundreds of people it took for us to be a government.
Yes, sir.
And how important the flag is,
Yes, sir.
you know, that history alone in itself, you know, can change your mind if you actually just talk to a stranger of the UNIA who doesn't know where the red, black, and green came from. You know, they don't know that it has a pledge, it has a song, it has a purpose.
Yes, sir.
And as members, we can take that opportunity to do it. And most of the time, we stay shy from it because we don't want to put our business out in social media because we don't want to be hindered in what we're doing.
Yep.
And we have an alternative within our own division, within our own people, because we all have individual skills that can be contributed to the differences of our own government. So me as a member am more than willing to um, help facilitate this form of communication where it can start inside and grow outside. Again, the name of the website is called GarveyitesWorldwide.com. You will need a membership login, and that is controlled currently by me, but I would like to move this particular control over to division members of membership so that we can know that everybody who signed on are UNIA members, and we don't have to be fearful that we're being infiltrated or that our message is not being communicated.
Hey, brother, do you mind putting that in the chat, please? I'm driving, so I can't just put it down, but I'd like to chime in later.
I will try because this is my first time being online with Zoom. So if I'm unable to do it, I'll be sure to send the information over to President John.
All right, thank you.
You're more than welcome.
And I definitely peace, brother Dreadlock. Great to have you on the call. Because I've definitely have seen the platform that he has created, and it is definitely one that will help us push out much more propaganda. Definitely happy to get back on board with helping you out with that, Bobby James, and let's utilize it to the highest capacity because it's definitely a great build, and it's definitely great in even connecting the Garveyites Worldwide and what the name is for. Because connecting us all, you know, the government is a worldwide function. We have to build the government. As we build Atlanta, we have to build the government and create the propaganda where it sells itself, basically, more than what we're doing in Atlanta, but what we're doing worldwide is so important. And yeah, I think he's putting it up now. So great to have you on the call, Bobby James, and let's continue to work.
Race first?
First.
Baba James, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Is this, I'm on the right information?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, if you could put a presentation together so that you can share it with the membership, how the how the website works, how we can get involved, and how we can communicate and work together. If you could put official presentation together, we can do that within 2 weeks. At our next meeting.
Ashe,
Okay. Thank you, Baba James.
race first.
Race first. Any other?
Yeah, this Sister Tanea, I just want to let you all know that if you all like enjoy the meetings and enjoy the the whirlwind coming out weekly, then we really do need more people to step up, because I'm getting to where I'm not gonna be able to keep doing it. I mean, y'all, as y'all know, most of y'all, I started doing this back in 2015, and here we are in 2022, and still nobody has stepped up to do it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, back then when I started, that was when, I first had my accident. So I wasn't able to move around. I couldn't move around, couldn't do nothing. So I was able to take on and do a whole lot of things, but now I can't. And I don't think it's fair that, one person you have 2 or 3 people doing everything in the organization. That's not fair. That's not how it's supposed to run. If everybody do one thing, we can still get stuff done. One person do one thing, but you have few people being repetition, you're gonna wear them out. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna wear President John out. Like President Ross got wore out and he had to stop. We're gonna wear him out. I'm about to be wore out to where I can't. I don't mean to, sound like I'm going off, but it gets frustrating that, like President John just said, who wants to help is quiet. But everybody can tell us to do this, do that. Fill my schedule up. What about fill your schedule up?
I sure.
But I'm just letting y'all know, if y'all enjoy these meetings and y'all enjoy this, y'all gonna have to step up, because I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna start stepping back. I'm not gonna be able to do it. I can move around now. I ain't trapped in the house no more. I'm trying to start back working. I'm not gonna be able to do this and work and build a career. I have to build a career, or else I'm a die broke. I want to have something to pass on to my children. So we have to do something to where we can at least build it to where you can pay the people that's working, that we can pay each other so that we can do it. I don't have to have another job. This can be my job. But we're not going to get to that point. Then somebody going to have to step up, because it's going on 7, 8 years of me every Sunday having to be here. I have my family too that I want to go be with. My family getting old. It's finna die.
To me, I'm willing to help.
I'm sorry. I'm ranting. But it's the truth. I've been holding it in. But I'm telling y'all, I want to be real with y'all, because y'all my people. I love y'all. But if y'all want this, y'all gonna have to step up, or it's not gonna be here.
Tanea, I'm willing to help.
Who is speaking?
Art.
Okay, yeah, I know. I got to get with you on the for the conference call. But I was just saying, like, for the agenda and stuff, and the other stuff that we have going on. I do appreciate you, Brother Art.
Yeah, the whirlwind I'd like to help with too.
Oh, the whirlwind too? Okay, well, thank you. All right, now that done took me down by 3 or 4 levels. Thank you.
Right, Sister Tanea, I agree with you. A lot of us have been members of the division, have been working behind the scenes for quite some time, and it can be discouraging as to what we're trying to do, which is, another reason why we have to have some particular resource that we can make those contributions to. The average person will have 100 ideas that move across their head, but if they're not writing them down or communicating them throughout the week until we come together again next Sunday, they're going to be quiet on the phone because those ideas haven't had an opportunity to be planted as seeds in anybody else's mind besides their own. So I fully understand exactly where you are. And resources like Garveyites Worldwide does provide jobs. And we're looking at a website that offers advertisement. We're looking at a website that offers unification of business. We're looking at a website that somebody has to be in charge of creating members and policing what our members are doing.
Yes,
you know, just as many jobs as Facebook has for its social media platform, it has that many jobs available as well. So if that's what we're moving towards, as far as being a division that creates the example and being prepared for a platform in which our youth are actively engaged in. Our major conflict comes from not being able to pass this information down to the youth because we're communicating in a different form of or a different language than they are now. So if we don't have something they can be on their phones with and show and be proud of the red, black, and green flag, and it only comes through social media in which people aren't necessarily conditioned to hashtag UNIA-ACL, we're gonna be right where we at. And that needs to change. That needs to change quickly. So I don't want you to ever be discouraged about what you do, because as long as I've known you to be a member of our division, you've been nothing but an asset, a blessing, just an overall need, you know, wherever a need has been there to fulfill. In my experience of knowing you, you've done that. And I know other members want the opportunity to be that. However, that opportunity doesn't come because we don't have too many opportunities to share. So again, if there's any members out there that want to make a change in that and help, you know, Sister Tanea and what she's doing, that's a platform in which we can all communicate on regular. So all she would have to do is approve those particular articles that go into the Whirlwind newsletter. So I see where you're coming from, and please don't be discouraged at all. You know what I'm saying? You're necessary for our division, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yes. Anybody else want to comment? Sister Tanea, I hear you loud and clear. And that's what, you know, I have a constant, you know, everybody knows me. When I came into the organization, there were two things that I've always had as a priority. And they come down to one thing, is resources, human resources and financial resources. So trying to get people in and trying to get, you know, finances in. But the people is where we're coming from right now. You know, we have to have people that are ready to step up. We cannot take our organization and our leaders or people that are in a position of leadership for granted. Had I not been here, had I not been trained by President Ross Marvin, the question, you know, who would have taken his place? If something happens to me right now, who's going to take my place? If something happens to Sister Tanea, who's going to produce the Whirlwind newsletter? So if we're not in a position of actively developing ourselves to obtain these positions and hold these positions, you know, that's what we need to be doing, basically, because at the end of the day, we're taking individuals and we're taking our organization for granted. I think that was part of the sentiment of what Sister Tanea was trying to say. So any other questions, comments in regards to executive officers, executive officer positions? As First Vice President said, you don't have to make a commitment right now. It's something you can think about. But if we want to be consistent, we had an election at the end of the year, or at the end of June last year. So 1 year from that time will be the end of June this year. So in order for us to stay consistent, we need to have an election in 2 weeks. And you know, you got a little bit of time. It's not a lot of time, but I think I've you know, stated what I need to say. Just be careful taking our organization and our individuals for granted. So anything else in regards to that, or things we can do differently? I think Brother Mason, you were saying something.
Yeah, I just want to say, I mean, I give a little bit of understanding because you mentioned taking organizations for granted, and I believe that most people move when they understand that a vision is there, and they feel like they can get involved in the vision. And one thing President John mentioned earlier, it's all about resources. And, as a government, one of the greatest tools that the American government used was to sell a dream. That was the whole focus. The American dream was the number one most sold product on the planet. And so we have to do a good job of sharing that vision so people can get involved. So, we're definitely not taking for granted our role as a government to be able to acquire resources for our people, cultivate those resources collectively. And we need everybody to do that and distribute them and protect them to our people. That is what we're here to do. So if you're unaware of the vision of what can be done, I just want to reiterate that resources are so important, and it takes a collective of people to create resources. And we need everybody, and we all need resources. So definitely encourage everybody who can to step up. And if it's just for that focus, that's something that should be important to us all, for us to focus our energies, our time, and our time, which is the greatest gift that we all have, the greatest currency we all have, the greatest wealth we all have that can't be taken away, is our time, our energy, and our commitment to use that time and energy towards a common goal. And we all do have a common goal here, and that's the reason why we're here. It's the reason why I show up, is because of that common goal that I know we have. And I hope that everyone can see themselves as a fit in achieving that goal, and find a place or get on the committee. If you don't think you can lead one, make sure, say at least I want to be a part of this committee, even if I can't lead it. And I'm pretty sure we'll help develop you to be a leader in the future. Don't feel like you have those skills right now to be able to lead. But the first step is to just step up and say, hey, I want to be on one. Mm-hmm. If I don't want, I want to be on one committee. Yeah. Race first.
Race first. Yeah. First step, confidence. You got to be confident, that you can step into the position. Anybody want to respond to Brother Macy's?
Race first.
Race first, Dr. Shams.
Yes. This what I'm about to say pertains to my website. I have it up there as a defense, for anybody, who falls into difficulty or, try to take away our reality, who we are, what have you. I did a lot of legal research there and other historical research, research into what the U.S. is doing, their constitution as opposed to human rights and rights of indigenous people and all. My website can really uphold sovereignty and the fact that we are sovereign, but if it goes away for lack of participation, it can no longer be used as even a propagation tool or any type of media to get anyone interested, because it's just not being pumped out there. It's not being presented. Not that I'm not trying to get it out there. I'm doing everything I can to have people know about the website, the organization, the government, what have you. But like we all keep saying, we need participation, from everybody. And I like to be on the propaganda media team myself. Race first.
Race first. Thank you, Dr. Shams. Anyone else have a comment? Okay. I wanted to respond to what Brother Macy said, give my thoughts. I agree with you, Brother Macias. I agree with you. In regards to vision, I think is a two-sided perspective when it comes to vision. The first vision that we have, well, all right, our goal is organization. And the question is, how do we get people to come in? And, you know, if we have a vision that attracts people, that brings them in, let me lay it out. So the first thing that we have to do in organizing is provide a vision. The first vision is usually, well, I'm not gonna say usually, but for us right now, the first vision is a big vision. And we summarize it in the shortest sense as our motto: one God, one aim, one destiny. The one aim, Brother Macy's, do you remember what the one aim is? I'm putting you on the spot, but you're a student, so you know. The course of African philosophy, what's our one aim?
Yeah, you put me on the spot right there. You know, one aim is economic development for our people.
Our one aim, that's part of it. Our one aim is independent, sovereign nation on the continent of Africa. That's a big vision, and it can be kind of vague, you know, depending on who you're telling it to or how you explain it. And then one destiny states that if we all don't make it, none of us are going to make it. You know, so it can't be a partial success. We're all combined and linked to our one destiny. So that's the big vision that most of us at this point, we've all bought into, you know, one God, one aim, one destiny. Then you get into organization. Two components of organization that we've talked about. One is the registered membership. So that's the information where we provide and continue to communicate with each other. That's one level of organization. The second level of organization is economic, where we all contribute collectively to a fund or to a fund that will create a vision. But then there's a fourth step. Once we buy into the big vision, we organize on a registration level, we start to have a collective economy. There's a fourth vision, or there's a fourth step in my mind that I've asked our executives about late last year, and that's the individual vision of each of the offices. What is the vision for our medical staff? You know, what is the vision for our agricultural development? I just, you know, Baba James, what is the vision for African Legion? You know, what image do we want to create and are we trying to put out there? So we're at that stage now of the individuals creating an in-depth vision. And we have to bring that back to the body, put it together and create a presentation and then give that to the people and ask them, you know, at that point, is this something that you want to be a part of or not? But I don't think we've gotten to that fourth level of a complete detailed vision, Brother Macy's.
I agree with you 100%. Agree with you 100%.
Okay. So, you know, we've been spinning our wheels on steps 1, 2, and 3. One God, one aim, one destiny, red, black, and green, self-reliance, self-determination, do for self, you know, just the general, be a man, be a woman, you know, don't ask for freedom, demand freedom. That's our general call. And with that call, you know, we organize like-minded individuals that think the same way, you know, race first, our race first philosophy. Once we get into the same room, then we have to make that third level commitment of economics. You know, are we going to commit financially to this vision that we've all agreed upon? And then beyond that, you know, like we're doing right now, we step up, take executive positions and develop a vision for that department that leads into the total vision for our jurisdiction. You know, I don't know if I can say it any other way or any simpler or any way that can be more understood, but in my vision, in my position, I feel like that's what we need, and that's where we are. We're still trying to get more registered members, and we're still trying to get economic commitment, and we still need the detailed vision from each of our leaders. So that's all I wanted to say. Any questions, comments? Greetings, Lady President. Greetings, somebody on conference line. Hold on. Greetings, conference line.
Yes, this is Brother Sean.
Greetings, Brother Sean. I hope you could hear.
I would like to say something. When you talk about trying to, get more people in. One thing I have, sat back and looked at over the years since I've been affiliated.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people, a lot of us particularly, there's no unity. So there's a lot of groups and other types of fashions that's out there that's for our people, but we don't come on one common cause. We are separated all the way. However you want to, which way you want to go with it, don't make no difference. But we are more we're not together.
Yes, sir.
So I think that is more of a problem than anything else. And this morning, I heard the minister with some other people said that last year, $1.3 trillion passed through the Black community.
At least.
And we don't make nothing. We are consumers. So when you say the economic thing, we have to get the unity first on the education with the unity in order to know how to, empower ourselves economically, because we don't. I mean, just walk up and ask somebody, say, hey, you want to join us? We trying to do this, you're trying to do that. I looked at the Nation of Islam. They got a couple of 100,000 acres down there in Sandusville, Georgia. The other Black Pastor Geno Jenkins, they got a bunch of acres of land in Georgia. Pastor Dow from Straightway. Everybody else is buying land. Something we need to do for us. We need to try to focus on trying to bring people in educationally so they can have something to stand on, because when people come into this program, they are broken. They are some of everything. But one of the things I have noticed is that when they come into a program like this, they are seeking refuge, and they are also seeking some type of legal rights. And when they don't get what they want, then the participation in the group is basically none.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to have an economic base to show the people that, hey, this is what we are trying to do. This is what we are offering. Can we back them up? Yes, we can back them up. So that might be a big problem.
Understand? May I respond?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I understand what you're saying, but there was a level of contradiction in your statement, because you started out saying that Black people had 1.3 trillion, but then we say we don't have, or we need to develop an economy for our people. Again, let me go back. We are the UNIA-ACL. I understand that there's a lot of groups out there, a lot of organizations organizing for different purposes and different motivations. We have to be clear on who we are, what we represent, and what red, black, and green stands for. That's what we have commonalities with other groups, but there's a clear distinction between us and other groups like Black Lives Matter or NFAC and things like that. And that's just two groups that have come up in the past 10 years that have had the ability to organize the Black economy, without even developing anything new. They found a way to fund their movements. So that's what I'm trying to say is, based on that 1.3 trillion that's already out there, at least, can we organize, 2 million of that 1.3 trillion for a race first, type of development, race first education, race first economy, race first agriculture. So I agree with you. We do need to get better at creating an economy, but I'm just talking about, can we organize the finances that we already have? Great example, Garvey. When you really get into Garveyism, you'll understand that he had a respect for the Jews and how Jews did things. But when you look at the Jewish structure, their finances are set up as 10% of their normal income goes towards their collective income. And that's all Garveyism is trying to duplicate, is not necessarily, at some point we will have to create our own industries. But before we get there, can we at least commit to a percentage of what we already have and putting that towards our development organizationally? That's so. And then you said something else in regards to refuge, but I forgot exactly what you were saying there. But I agree with you. I agree. However, I'm not going to give us a pass as a people, to say that 1.3 trillion that we have can't be used, for the development of our people currently.
Can I speak to that a little bit, President John?
First Vice President, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like like you said earlier, us completing those individual plans as officers and developing that into one major plan is a major step. A great Garveyite, not Marcus Garvey, named Dr. Malachi York, we used to say, give people what they want, then they'll want what you have to give.
Yes.
Which I think is very important. And one of the things our people really need is organization. And asking them to give that 10%, I think us taking that step to organize that vision and
Brother Macy, is you still there? Brother Macias. Brother Macias. Brother Macias.
This is Brother Dreadlocks, Baba James, race first.
Go ahead, Baba James.
To add to the brother's statement, one of the things that was said that is difficult for me to receive is that we don't unify.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a matter of perspective. I take a special consideration for what we do in the UNIA because we're not a group. We're not an organization. We're a government.
Yes, sir.
We've had the responsibility of being the example for any organization that's here today.
Yes, sir.
And there's an ignorance as to that particular history of what it took. Most of these, and I don't really know of one Black organization who isn't waving our flag, who isn't supporting our colors. I don't know of too many organizations at one particular time here in Atlanta that UNIA members are part of. When I ask myself, well, how many organizations am I a part of? And it's anybody who's put up a red, black, and green flag and said, I want to support Pan-Africanism. So with that in mind, the values and goals of the UNIA where Pan-Africanism is concerned needs to be addressed and communicated to these organizations or through these organizations, because we're not communicating with them. And the reason why we're not communicating with them is because, you know, we know that there is a difference between an organization and a government.
Yes, sir.
You know, we're not 501c3.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? We're not any of those things. We are responsible for every Black person on this earth. Not just every Black person's agenda. And they all fall under. And they all fall under what we're all trying to do. And it doesn't, and we get nowhere by putting into the universe that we're not unified. We don't recognize how unified we are. And we don't give that particular aspect of our unification the credit it deserves. And we should. It's important that people know, hey, Black Lives Matter. Black lives have also mattered. It's not something new. It started over 100 years ago with Marcus Garvey and his flag y'all are waving when you march down the street. The only difference is when we march down the street, we do it with swords and spears and guns at the side of our waist.
Yes, sir.
And we protect our presidents and we do these other things. So with that in mind, what our ancestors have already shown us what's necessary to organize that particular energy. That's the place we should consider starting, which is, taking up that responsibility. Hey, you're waving a red, black, and green flag. And not only should people know where that came from, but people should also know that UNIA members are supporting this.
Yes, sir.
Because we are a government. If we take all of those organizations, then we got all of these executive offices. You know what I'm saying? Within our division, we're recreating the wheels that are already out there. It's one thing to sit within our division and try to have someone step up into those particular role, but it's another thing for a member of our division to involve people who are doing these things for these other groups or organizations to be recruited into our division.
Yes, sir.
So there is a resolution, and it includes us communicating who we are and what we're doing and why it's so important that I'm gonna go right and say a tribute to the red, black, and green flag be included in what they do.
Yes, sir. Excellent. One thing only, and I agree with everything Baba Jane said. What does Garvey teach us is the greatest weapon used against our people? Anybody? That's to anybody. Greatest weapon used against our race is what?
Ladies first.
Ladies first, Dr. Shams.
Is it fear?
No, sir. Y'all gonna pull it up on Google? Come on now.
Man, I want to say propaganda, but I also want to say division.
It's more the second one.
It's our lack of knowledge of ourselves.
No, sir. Hold on. We got to know these things. The greatest weapon used against. All right, let me share this.
Ladies first.
Ladies first, Dr. Shams.
Is it Willie Lynch and his mechanisms of division for us?
Y'all are in the ballpark. Garvey says the greatest weapon used against the Negro is disorganization.
Disorganization.
This is fundamental 101 Garveyism. Just like what is it? Liberate the minds of men. Ultimately, you'll liberate the bodies of men. There's certain quotes from Garvey that should be, basically memorized after a certain period of time. But I wanted to take this back to what Baba James was saying and what Brother Sean was saying in regards to being unified. Yes, we are unified, but in order for us to go to that next step of organization, that's where we as Garveyites, we as quote unquote leadership, we have to do what Baba James was saying in regards to making these connections with individuals or organizations that are already doing the work, but we're unified, but we will have more power when we become organized. That's all I wanted to say on that.
I said this quote to, I think before, to you, President John, and that's one of my favorite quotes. Our people are already in many organizations. Our only task now is to organize the organizations.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah, that's what, bringing it all back, we're getting ready for elections. We're getting ready to elect, officers. So the individuals that are ready to step up to a position of leadership within Division 421, the local chartered organization of the UNIA. If you're ready to start trying to make these connections, now's the time, to step up and make it known. But me in my position and where I am, I'm moving forward. I'm not looking back. If individuals are ready, that's good. If they're not, hopefully they, don't get left too far behind. But it's 2022, and we, it's 100 years, since Garvey established the government, and we still, in my mind, we're still playing around as a race. I don't mean as us individually, but collectively, we're still playing around. So, yeah, I just want to state that we got work to do. So those that are ready and willing and able, it's time to step up. Those that would like to be ready, willing, and able, it's time to make that known. Anything else on this anything else on the upcoming election before we move to officers report? Okay. But yeah, we've said a lot in regards to organization, unification, economics. But I think, tonight is no better time to have that discussion, because if those are not the things that we need an executive body for, then I don't know, what we would need an executive body for. So I think everything is being said right in the perfect time. And those, that are ready, hopefully they hear it in time. So, all right. If there's one final call for any questions, comments, or concerns on executive officers or upcoming elections. Final call. Okay. All right. So in 2 weeks, we will hold our election. Brother Macias, I'm gonna get with you, very soon to kind of put a online form together. So today is June 12th, 2022. We're in the middle of June. We're kind of in the beginning, ramping up. Well, I'm not gonna say beginning, but yeah, we're full into it. May, Malcolm X Day, African Liberation Day, that's kind of ramping up for the summer. We're in June now. There's been a lot of events going on. Juneteenth coming up, that'll be the big event for us in June. July, we don't really have much planned, but then August, month of Mosiah, Marcus Garvey Day, Caravan, and a lot of things going on in August. But for tonight, we'll focus on June. So today is June 12th, our UNIA meeting. That's what we're on right now. This coming Tuesday, we'll have our study group at 8 p.m. We will continue Philosophies and Opinions of Marcus Garvey. Then on Friday, the 17th, starts Juneteenth. I think I actually may need some help on the 16th setting up. So 17th, 18th, and 19th officially are the days of Juneteenth here in Atlanta, and that'll be at Centennial Olympic Park. I've got more information on the upcoming slides, but that's what we look like for the upcoming week. I need everybody's support on Juneteenth to come out. We will have a table at Juneteenth. Come out, support the table, promote the red, black, and green flag, and share the information of the red, black, and green flag. Because if we as members of the UNIA don't know this information, who can we expect people to get that information from? So it's our responsibility. And then obviously in 2 weeks, on the 26th, we'll have our next meeting, our next mass meeting of the month. And we'll kind of recap Juneteenth, and start to look at the month of July and any events or things that we would like to accomplish or participate in for the month of July. So going through June 11th, yesterday, there was an event at Malcolm X Park, Freedom Weekend rally that was at 6 p.m. I actually didn't make it out to that event, but promoted it to the executive officers. So we were aware of it, but as we've talked about earlier, we have to be visible in the community, and we have to be representatives of the red, black, and green. So at these events, there should be representation of the red, black, and green, showing support from our government for these types of causes. When you look at our aims and objectives, one of our aims is to reclaim the fallen. And as President Ross Marvin taught me, reclaim the fallen includes political prisoners. So we have a direct objective or direct directive from our aims and objectives to support our brothers and sisters that have been victims of the American injustice system, or political prisoners. As I said, this coming week, June 17th through 19th, is the 10th annual Juneteenth Parade and Music Festival. We have participated in this event for several years. This will be our first year officially working with the Juneteenth group and being part of the sponsorship of Juneteenth. So we made a financial commitment this year to support the Juneteenth organization and to continue the legacy of Juneteenth. And as I'll talk about in the later slides, keeping Juneteenth I'll say this amongst everybody, keeping Juneteenth a red, black, and green event rather than a rainbow flag event. So we have that responsibility as well. And not gonna say much on that right now. So this is something I talked about with our executive officers, but basically we've got a bunch of inventory of magazines, flags, books, calendars that we will be trying to move at Juneteenth. So come by the booth and get a flag, get a Garvey Waste magazine, get a Constitution, help support the organization. But this could be a good economic boost. I don't want to use stimulus, but economic boost to our organization if we execute well. Juneteenth parade, is a couple things I wanted to highlight here. So the parade theme is reparations over everything, true identity equals true freedom, reunited the Aboriginal diaspora of the world, and world peace. But Dr. Shams, I believe, he mentioned promotion of the organization. So let me stop. I want to show y'all a couple web pages that have that we've helped to promote, or has helped to promote the UNIA, rather specifically Division 421. Let me see. Okay, so this one, I think, please be here. This is not what I wanted. I think it's on the front page. Is it on the front page? I can't find it on the front page, so. One moment. So yeah, we're talking about promotion and specifically Juneteenth and how we can. We have to be good at killing two birds with one stone. So celebrating an event, honoring ancestors, as well as promoting for the organization. If we can do multiple things at one time and one day, that would be best for us. It's you know, it allows us to be efficient. So this is the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. This is the biggest newspaper, as far as I understand, in Atlanta. And this is going back to Juneteenth Parade in 2019. This is a brother, Jakuma, who has supported, he's a drummer for St. Conscious Drummers, but he supported several of the organizations here in Atlanta, but he's also an active member of Division 421. He has been a part of the Juneteenth Parade for several years prior to me getting involved. So I got to give him credit for being, you know, the initiator, at least as far as my understanding. This is me, but we use this event as promotion for the Red, Black, and Green for the UNIA. It's free promotion. And again, if anybody's going to be waving this flag and explaining the principles of the organization, who better to do it than members of the UNIA? So 2019, when the Juneteenth celebration was at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, we were there leading the parade. So let me stop. Show another promotion from Juneteenth. Okay, so that was 2019, jumping up to 2021. This is USA Today. I'm sure everybody's familiar with USA Today. Come on, did I not get the, oh, it's loading in. Pretty sure it's loading in. 19 photos. I know 19 photos. One second, let me make sure this is working. Yeah, it's coming in now. Okay. All right, so USA Today, gatherings around US to commemorate slave emancipation. This is last year, 2021, when the United States government declared Juneteenth a federal holiday. So we have to make sure that Juneteenth stays Black, basically. I don't know any better way to say that. But this is an article from USA Today going around the country, showing how different areas celebrated Juneteenth. Houston, Roswell, High Panama, Florida. And this is when they got to Atlanta. June 19, 2021, Atlanta, Georgia. Brother Cornelius, our second vice president. Brother Jakuma, brother I told you about earlier, he's in the back with the big flag. And then this is myself with my flag. So from 2019, 2021, we've had not international, but national state press, well, city press, as well as national press, promoting the Red, Black, and Green. This year, Juneteenth, it'll be televised on CBS, the parade at least, but it'll be even more exposure. So from a propaganda standpoint, from a promotion standpoint, I need everybody out at Juneteenth at the parade that can walk 2 miles and carry a flag. Any questions on Juneteenth?
Baba John,
Yes.
I put in a link for any UNIA member who wants to volunteer to participate in the Juneteenth events.
Yes.
I personally have been on the Juneteenth committee for the past 10 years. And the opportunities are there for us. You know, Brother Jakume, myself, you know, we've always been involved. However, it goes back to what I spoke on earlier in regards to, we know what we're supposed to do, but representing ourselves as UNIA members is not always included in the conversation. So I encourage anybody on the phone to share that link with everybody that they know that looks like them. And, you know, it's something we can say. UNIA members of Division 421 volunteered, and we had 100 members show up to volunteer. I personally volunteers to help me run the parade route, and I also need volunteers to help me with the setup on Thursday. So any members of our division that want to participate, please take an opportunity to click on that link and fill out the application and show up.
Thank you, Brother Dreadlock. Yes, I second everything that he said. Anyone that is willing to volunteer, is able to volunteer, please sign up through the link provided by Baba James. All right, but yeah, I hope all the expectations are clear for Juneteenth. Parade is big on the 18th. But the entire event will be 17th through 19th. So anyone that has time, please come out, support the event, support the division as well. So, couple other updates. So, hold on, somebody's line is not muted. Please mute your lines. Where's that coming from? Please mute your lines. Just a couple updates. We were a couple of months behind on our financial reports. I don't provide the details in mass meetings, but we'll let members know. We are up to date on our dues as of this morning. Our April and May financial reports have been paid out. So going back to that organization, commitment, finances. We are Division 421, a local division of the international organization. We are a local division that represents an international organization. A part of organization, an unwritten part of organization is paying dues. You know, there's no, well, the only other reason for us to come together besides economic strength would be political strength, to where we, you know, all agree to vote for a particular thing or a particular person. We're not, you know, fighting for political positions in the United States. That's not our overall aim. However, we do need to organize our economics. But I just wanted to say, you know, we pay our dues. We've paid our dues to the parent body as a division, so we're good officially for next month. But it's 1 month at a time. But you know, we're good to go. And then I need all members to do as well. So the more money that we receive, the more we can pay out to the parent body, to the overall organization. The Atlanta Community Food Bank. I don't know if any people are aware, but there's a community food bank that's on the south side of Atlanta. And I'd like for some of our members to get involved to find out, you know, how this works and, you know, what we need to do to be able to provide some of these resources to our people.
Some pizza.
But it is a government-sponsored feeding facility, and it's brand new. It's huge, and I think we can. Garvey teaches us to use everything in our power, even government-sponsored entities or organizations. So if this is something that can be used to feed Black people in need in our jurisdiction, I'd like to, find out more information about it and find out how we can get involved. Okay. Wait, am I sharing the right thing? I don't know if I shared the right thing. Make sure y'all see this. I wanted to make sure y'all see the webpage. So Atlanta Community Food Bank. In our area, more than 750,000 people are projected to be food insecure. 1 in 8 Georgians is food insecure. 1 in 7 children go to bed hungry. But, we don't have an official, large scale feeding program. So we try to tap in with other groups or organizations that are doing that work. Okay, so that's the food bank. Next slide is, this is just a note to our executives, current executives and future executives. It is June 12th today, but we do need to start planning for Marcus Garvey Day 2022. We will be working with the Shrine of the Black Madonna, same location that we had last year. But we've got about 2 months now of planning and preparation. So we want to start having regular meetings with the Shrine to clarify our agreement and make sure everything's in place for Marcus Garvey Day 2022. And Marcus Garvey Day will probably be on August 20th, 2022. That's a Saturday. But just a heads up to local leadership, we need to start planning for Marcus Garvey Day and speaking of that, we need a event committee. Like if we want to have any events or anything like that, there should be a group, in place to facilitate these discussions. So that's something else that us as executives, we can think about is an event planning committee. Any questions, comments on Marcus Garvey Day coming up? Papa James, I think I muted you, but you should be able to unmute. Okay. Next slide. So from this is past, this happened in the past, but I think I sent it to our executives. Surgeon General out of New York, Brother James McIntosh, he's the Surgeon General of the UNIA-ACL. They had a health discussion. Topic was, how has the pandemic affected our minds, bodies, souls, health, and immunity? This was held on May 28th, 2022, with the panel that you see here, but it was open to call in as well. But this is just a note for I only provided this to our executives. So this is a note to our executives, reminder to our executives, and just something for us to be aware of at the least. Any questions, comments on Surgeon General's discussion from the 28th? I didn't listen to it, but. Okay, next slide. Another, in regards to promotions again, I'm glad that came up. It's a recurring topic, so I expect to continue to talk about it. One of the things that we've done recently is put together developed our brochure. So this will be a 1-page brochure, front and back, and it'll be folded into thirds. So it'll just be a booklet, a small brochure that you can open up. That we've been handing out to members in Atlanta since last month, May, we got them developed. But front page looks like this. It says the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League, what it is and how it operates. Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey in a picture. Atlanta Division, Dr. Julius Nairi, CBPM Division 421. That's us. Our address, PO Box, contact information. But that's on the front. And then these are on the back. Well, this is the back right here, but then you open it up. First question is, what is the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League? And the answer comes from our preamble. It says, it is a social, friendly, humanitarian, charitable, educational, institutional, constructive, and expansive society organized for the general uplift of the Black peoples of the world. What is the pledge? What pledge do members make? To do all in their power to conserve the rights of their noble race and to respect the rights of all mankind, believing always in the brotherhood of man and the fatherhood of God. Who founded the UNIA-ACL? The Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey in Jamaica, WI in 1914, and in New York, USA, 1918. What is the slogan of the UNIA? Africa for the Africans, those at home and those abroad. What is the jurisdiction of the UNIA? The jurisdiction of the UNIA includes all communities where people of African descent are to be found. This is also from the Constitution. Most of this is from the Constitution. Who are the ordinary members of the association? All Black people are regarded as ordinary members and are entitled to the consideration of the organization. Who are the active members? Those who pay monthly dues for the upkeep of the organization and who in consequences have first claim for all benefits to be dispensed. Okay. What are the monthly dues for members? There's a $10 joining fee for all members and monthly dues of $3. What are the objects and aims of the UNIA-ACL? To establish a united brotherhood among the race, to promote race pride and love, to assist the needy, to aid in the abolishment of alien control in the whole of Africa, to establish diplomatic agencies in the principal countries and cities of the world for the representation and protection of all members of the race, to build educational institutions in Africa, to conduct worldwide commercial and industrial intercourse for the good of the race, and to improve conditions in all Black communities. How may a charter be secured? To establish a division of the organization in any community. 7 or more citizens of intelligence having the respect of the people of their community and on application may be given a charter, provided there is no charter division already existing in such community. Chapters and branches of divisions may receive charters to work under the auspices of the charter division in any community where circumstances justify the existence of such chapters and branches. What is the governing body of the UNIA-ACL? The International Convention, which meets annually unless otherwise provided. The next International Convention will be this coming August, and it'll be held in Detroit. Who are the high officials? Well, I'm not going to go through all of it, but in regards to propaganda, promotion, and having a clear understanding of what the red, black, and green is and what it is not, I think this brochure does an excellent job of that. So any questions, comments on our brochure for promotion?
President John, does the
Oh man,
does the brochure include application or access to an application?
I wasn't even sharing the right page. No, well, good question. So I was thinking of that, and on the next, I'm gonna have these recreated. On the next one, we'll put a QR code and have the QR code link to an application. As of right now, individuals that were interested would have to reach out either via phone or email.
Ashay.
But yeah, this is what I hate explaining stuff. I apologize. I was explaining it without sharing it. This is the cover page. It folds in 3, so each column becomes a section. This will be the cover page. And as I read, this is the first page. This would be second page, I think. And then this would be the back.
Looks good.
Where's the thing about white people? Question, is the UNIA against the white race or other races? Answer, the UNIA believes in the rights of all men. However, we believe in the purity of our race, and we promote the ideals as set forth by our ancestors. But yeah, I think, in regards to the unity going to, unification going to organization, those that come into this organization should be clear on who we are, what we stand for, and what our principles are, and what our goals are. As it's been stated, the red, black, and green has been waived by several organizations, but all of the organizations that waive the red, black, and green don't always have the same principles, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but we must be clear on what our principles are and what we stand for, and what the red, black, and green means from UNIA-ACL standpoint.
Later.
Mama Amina, you're off mute.
I'm sorry.
All right. So if there aren't any questions on the brochure, let me go back to the presentation. But yeah, promotion and propaganda is twofold. We put the work together, we develop things like this, but we got to do the legwork too. We've got to, hand these out to our people and explain to them, who we are, and what we're about. So now that we've got the brochures, we got to start moving them. Now that CBS is planning on recording Juneteenth, we need to be there to represent the organization. So it's twofold, and that's what I said late last year. Our motto for this year is success happens when preparation meets opportunity. So this is preparation. Juneteenth will be opportunity. Will we be fully prepared for what Juneteenth has to offer us? Okay. This is something else that I just wanted to touch on really quick. It's nothing, maybe it's something that we can get into early next year, or maybe even late this year, depending on how we do financially. But one of the things that I want us to get into is investments. And Brother Macias, as our business coordinator, I would be depending on you to help us with this. But one of the things that I've been looking at, in my understanding, like a lot of people that are rich, they get their money from either real estate or stocks. We've talked a little bit about the real estate, and we will talk more about real estate. I did want to touch on the stock aspect of it. And since we are Garveyites, since we are race first, Black stocks, so stocks that we could invest in, we would obviously do our research to make sure they're good companies and all that stuff. But this would be a 21st century way of us, to be Garveyites, us to invest in Black-owned companies that have stocks, make them more profitable, and that in turn increases our profits. So it's just something to think about. I don't know if other organizations or groups have brought this up, but I haven't heard it from any other group or organization. So I wanted to, share this with Division 421 as far as some things that we can do business-wise, economic-wise, and also staying race first. Questions, comments on investing in Black-owned stocks?
Yeah, President John, that's definitely actually was on the agenda of one of the institutions that definitely looking forward to get us into. But it's pretty easy to create our own stock market. And of course, just like any other market, it's a place where you can go into and buy goods from different vendors. And that's all a stock market is, where different vendors, we create a platform or a place where our members can go into and hear about the different businesses out there, and us start putting our money towards that. So it's definitely something that's pretty easy to build. And I'll definitely get with you on helping put a presentation together for the membership, how we can get that going, because it's definitely important.
Thank you. And as you were talking about it, Garveyites Worldwide may play a part in that market as well. So, Baba James, I hope you're listening.
Ready when y'all are.
All right. Next slide. Just a heads up for individuals in Georgia. As Baba James said, we are not a 501c3. And one of the limitations of a 501c3, per my understanding, is those organizations can't really get involved in or can't speak on who to vote for from a political standpoint. So you never really hear churches and things like that. Well, sometimes they do, but they from my understanding, they can't get involved in who to promote for politics. But for us in Georgia, there's an important governor race and Senate race coming up. June 21st is the Georgia primary runoffs. They've started early voting as well, but Stacey Abrams and Brian Kemp will be running for governor. I would like for us to have a discussion of, I know it's kind of late at this stage, but we need to be more politically savvy and politically prepared so that we can come together as a body, have discussions on who we think is the best candidate for us. And going back to what I said earlier, prior to economic organization and economic strength, we still have, even if we don't have economics, we still have political power. All of us, well, not all of us, but most of us have the right to vote, so even if we don't have, $1 trillion, we still have, last estimate I understood is 45 million Black people in the United States. So we still have that power, and we should be discussing, how to utilize that power. Everybody always says, for years they've been telling us, go out and vote. Our people fought and died for the right to vote. But when it comes down to who we should be voting for, it's not always clear. For example, Trump kind of made it easy, with some of the things that he said or some of the opinions that he would put out there publicly that made it easy for Black people to not want to vote for him. But on a local level, there's 12 councilmen in the city of Atlanta that are elected in 12 districts. Do we know who these people are? Do we know what their policies are? The Georgia Senate, Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock, do we know what these individuals' policies are? Do we know who's, best for, our community, the Black community in this state? Stacey Abrams, Brian Kemp, it shouldn't, it's not, I'm gonna say it, yeah, it's not just about a Black face for me, it's about the policies that are best for our people. So elections are coming up, or right around the corner. And to my knowledge, we haven't really had a discussion about politics or these political leaders. And I'm not saying that there's anything that we can do now, but moving forward in the next 2 years, hopefully, we can be more prepared and be on the same page collectively to empower, or to exercise our political power in a unified way. So any questions, comments on the governor and Senate race upcoming in Georgia?
Brother Dreadlocks, Baba James.
Greetings.
Within the next couple of years, I would think it would be to our advantage to be powerful enough those candidates to come to us. I don't know of any quote unquote organizations that are collecting the attention of Black people that the Stacey Abrams isn't going to. You know, we have to ask ourselves the question, how come she hasn't called President John and says, hey, I understand you have XYZ members in your provisional government, and I'd like to talk to them and tell them what it is I would like to offer.
Yes, sir.
And that comes from our numbers being known. That
Yes,
comes
sir.
from our economic power being known. And that changes when we move out of the shadow and say, hey, you want these 600, you want these 1,000 voters
Yes, sir.
that are members of the division, come talk to us.
Yes, sir.
And if you're not talking to us, you know, and we have to actually come out and talk to you, that ain't what you want.
Yes, sir.
That's not what
Absolutely.
you want. You know what I'm saying? You know, you want our attention. This is what we have. If it's not of any value to you, we want the candidate in which our say has value too.
Yes, sir.
And you know, that's our responsibility. You know, I can say we got 12 members on this call, but somebody knows somebody that knows somebody that's in that political realm.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And when they come to us and say, hey, we can't touch y'all because y'all are this, then we know where they stand.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, in the next couple of years, when we talk about our involvement in politics, because for a long time, you know, it's, you know, am I going to vote for bad or worse? It's not a matter whether or not you're going to vote for bad or worse. You're going to vote for the person who knows who you are, knows what you do, and is willing to continue to support what we're doing by encouraging our vote for them.
Absolutely.
That's all I got to say on the matter.
I don't know if there's anything else that needs to be said. Any comment, questions on the governor Senate race and our involvement in politics in the future?
I just wanted to say that also as a people that I feel like that we need to also get over the fact that people don't like us, you know, and look at it as what can they give us besides if somebody don't like us. Because if the truth be told, I think don't none of them like us. Anybody out there, if we vote non-Black, and if we voting Black, and then what is they gonna give us? You know, instead of first saying, well, do they like us? Is they racist? If I can get more money out of the racist one than the one with Joe Biden, I'm gonna go with the one I can get the most out of.
Exactly.
They do it to us all the time. They don't like us, but they hire us.
Yes. And
they work us to death, and they take our money.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
But yes, this is politics, you know. It's a whole different world. It's not something that we can break down in 5 minutes, but it is something that we should be aware of and something that we should be involved in as the local government. Any other questions, comments on the governor or Senate race or politics? So, okay. Let me see how many slides I got left. I know we getting late. I'm gonna try to run through this so we can get through, get to member share. This was something that I saw that kind of shocked me in a bad way, and I wanted to share it with the group. I thought it was ironic because one of the things that Garvey is known for and the UNIA is known for is the Black Doll Factory. So where Garvey was and our ancestors were producing Black baby dolls basically that we would, you know, love ourselves, appreciate ourselves, want, you know, children that looked like us. And let me see. This was before the whole study that was done on children in schools that said that they thought that white children or white baby dolls were more attractive than black baby dolls. But I just want to share this briefly. It's a small article. It's not something that I'm proud of, but it's something we should be aware of. Laverne Cox, transgender individual, black person, so it's one of our people, becomes the first transgender person to have a Barbie designed in her image. So something to be aware of if any of us to have children. Something that may be on the shelves in the near future, but it will be a transgender individual. I don't know what to call them, a man or woman, but they are melanated. So it's something that we should be aware of. It's something, yeah. Any questions, comments on this before I go to the next slide?
Brother John, I have a question. Is there a
hold on, wait.
transgender doll?
Sister Erica, say that again.
Is there a Caucasian transgender doll?
I don't know. I can look that up. I mean, I really don't want to, but I don't know. I just saw this as I was going through some news articles. Well,
Don't type it. Don't type it,
no,
President.
I don't think
You
there
type
is.
it. You
I don't
gonna
think
start
there
getting
is.
all kind of transgender stuff popping up on your thing. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
They talk about equity and inclusion, but why do we do a white one?
True. But I don't think there is a white one because an article says she becomes the first transgender person. So black, white, Asian. I believe this black individual will be the first transgender of all races. You know, it's something that, oh my gosh, we've gotten.
It's ironic.
Go ahead, Sister Erica.
Just ironic.
You said just ironic.
That's all.
Yes.
I think personally at this particular point, I'm okay with black children thinking that black dolls are ugly if that's how they're gonna come for the next few years.
Yeah. Man, what was I about to say? I know what I was gonna say. So, you know, I hope this may not be related, but we've gotten kind of a little bit insecure as a people and wanting to be first at everything, you know. So I think the president's it's a secretary that he has that does the morning discussions. She's the first black gay person to have that position. And now, you know, this individual is the first transgender to have a Barbie doll, but you know, black people that are insecure can say, you know, hey, we were the first, you know, to do that and think that it's something to be proud of. So I just wanted to, you know, make that comment. Like, we got to slow down on trying to be the first to do everything if it's not something righteous.
Well,
all right, let me get off of that and continue with presentation. Let me see. 7:25. I should be done in 5 minutes. We're gonna have to run through member share, everybody, so be respectful. So just a couple of slides just to let the community know what we've been doing. May 28th, we had a feeding program. So the UNIA Division 421, we work with Nation of Islam, Mosque 15B, Moorish Science Temple, Temple 19. We come together. We talked about, you know, working with different groups, and we got to get these brothers more on board, as Brother Baba James was saying, to have a better connection as to what we're doing and what they're doing. But at any rate, we've been having this program for a couple of years now. We spend about $100. We provide 50 tomato sauce cans, 50 cups of mandarin oranges, 25 cups of peaches, 25 cups mixed fruit. It should be about 50 of each. And we break them up into these bags. This is what we provide. The Nation of Islam and the Moorish Science Temple provides rice, water, beans, pasta noodles, and a couple of other things. But basically, we all come together, 3 different organizations. We focus on a couple items, and then we split those items up into 50 bags. We provided this food to the Green Springs community. It's on the south side. I want to say College Park. But this is what we did on the 28th. This was also African Liberation Day. But I just want to show the members, why we ask for funds. It's not just, it's for fundamental things. It's for grassroots things. And I want members to know that, the money is being used for our people. Second thing, African Liberation Day was also on that day of May 28th. In regards to working with other organizations, please forgive this picture. The lighting wasn't great. This is Baba Oshi in the middle. He's a representative of ASCAC, Association for the Study of Classical African Civilizations. UNIA-ACL, myself, I was there. COSA, it's an organization that works with brothers and sisters in Haiti. WADU, World African Diaspora Union, Brother Tut Moses, those that are in Atlanta that are involved in RBG liberation work. We know Brother Tut Moses. And Friends of the Congo was another group, but organized by WADU and Brother Tut Moses. We supported, it was held at Beloved Community Church of Atlanta, but we will be doing more work together with these groups, and we have to be more active. So again, going back to the executive officers, this will be the work, of some of the executive officers this coming year is as we said, working with these organizations and being more unified. Couple other slides. So what's this? Okay. So today, June 12th, there was one thing we're trying to do a fundraiser for a mannequin, a CPR mannequin for our division. Let me pull this up. I was talking with our Black Cross Nurse Coordinator, Sister Erica, and Brother James. I'm glad you're here because another one of the priorities that I want from our African Legion, usually when people join African Legion or militant groups, when brothers do it, they want to inflict pain on somebody or inflict retribution, defend the community, which is always good, but there's usually an aggressive sentiment to it. I would like one of the first primary things that our Legion should learn is first aid and medical. But basically, hold on, wait. One of the first things that we should learn is how to defend ourselves, or how to fix ourselves if anything happens. What I'm showing on the page is a CPR mannequin. So, this is an expensive one, $1,300. Not saying that we would get this one, but working with our Black Cross nurses and our Legion, I want our Legion to be basically first aid certified as the first thing before we do any type of weapons things or obviously physical conditioning will be in there, but before we do anything aggressive, I would like for us to be well trained in defensive tactics and medical tactics. So I'm just sharing this as a basically, asking members for funds and donations to help us get the medical equipment. That's what this is.
President John, the Ethiopian organization of Empress Menen has balls that I know they're willing to let other people use for that purpose.
Okay.
I'll share the contact information with you.
Thank you, Baba James. But yes, that's where I'm going. You know, however we can get these things that we need for our development, for our safety, for our health. That's, thank you, Baba James. That's what I need. Okay, just a couple more slides. Let me see. Oh, another thing that's important coming up. Taking a whole meeting with this thing. Another important event coming up, as I said, the international body of the UNIA is the International Convention, which this year will be the 64th International Convention held in Detroit. And we have our convention newsletter that has a little bit of information that we can share. So parent body 2022 convention newsletter, 64th International Convention. So this is our highest body. Topic is focus on the nation. Dates will be August 23rd through 27th in Detroit, Michigan. President Mensa Salim. But yeah, they have some contact individuals for those that are interested. Officers, I would like for us to have a good representation. Individuals will have to pay a registration fee of $15. Our division will have a registration fee of $125. I would take care of as president. So any questions, comments on upcoming international convention? I should have shared this with all of the executives. So if executives don't have it, please let me know.
Is this a road trip opportunity?
Yes.
I was just about to say, President John, jump in right there. I know I do want to try to organize a bus and be on that committee to help people who want to get involved and jump on the van and ride. I'm willing to facilitate that. And so it's early, so if y'all want to go, jump on the bus. We're gonna put together I want to put together a little online sign up. If you want to jump on the bus, send it out to the members. And if you want to jump on, you can. If not, so hopefully we'll know ahead of time so we can secure the funds to get it and meeting people there as possible.
Yes.
So I'll get one of the meetings prior, Bobby James, and we'll get the more details on that and give to the body.
Yes. So yeah, we need to get together, start planning for international convention. Things are getting busy. So yeah, like I said, Juneteenth is this weekend, but we need to start planning for our Marcus Garvey Day in Atlanta. And right on top of that is convention in Detroit. So that'll be those will be tough, but we do need to get together and start, planning those things.
Wow.
Any other questions, comments on international convention in August? Okay. Just two more slides. We'll jump into member share. So also today, June 12th, 2022, today is the second anniversary of the shooting of Rayshard Brooks. So the brother that was shot at the Wendy's here in Atlanta in 2022 and kind of escalated the Liberation Summer of 2020 here locally. They had a memorial for him today. At the memorial was attorney Gerald Griggs. I don't know if individuals know him. He's a very active civil rights attorney. He's also recently elected as president of NAACP in Georgia. This brother here, holding his fist up in this picture, this is the father of Jimmy Atchison. So he's another brother that was killed unjustly by police. coming out to support the Rayshard Brooks family. They're going to have a rally for his son tomorrow at 1:30 at the house of District Attorney. I don't know, it's the office of District Attorney Fannie Willis. Also at this event, I don't have a picture of him, but District 12, Atlanta District 12 City Councilman Antonio Lewis, he was there as well. He's been doing a lot of work since 2020. Actually, this event is kind of what propelled him into political office. He was able to unseat the current district representative. So District 12 is actually where Rayshard Brooks was killed. There was a sister that was holding that seat, but Antonio Lewis, through 2020, he campaigned and won that seat from the sister. So big memorial, and as you can see, you know, some important people are there. I was there, my wife was there, so you know, the UNIA was there as well. But we have to be present of what's going on. We have to be aware of what's going on. This is our city, you know, and if things are going on for Black people, for the benefit of Black people, we should not only be aware, but we should be on the front lines. So that's all I got for that. And then last slide, well, is this last slide? Oh, no, it's not last slide. Wanted to promote our YouTube page. So second to last slide. I've been working very diligently this month to get our YouTube page back active. Let's see. So all of the meetings that we've had, come on now. All of our meetings that we've had, I'm posting them up there. Our officer training that we did, at the end of last year and the beginning of this year is going to be posted on there. And I got some videos going back to 2020 when President Ross Marvin was still active president. I'll be sharing those as well, but let's see if I'll show you the manage video slide. So these videos that show private here, these ones they're not up yet, but I'm still editing those videos, making sure everything's clean so that we can switch it to this mode, public. After I go through it, I blur out any information that's private, cut out any information that's private, and then we make the videos public. So we still have several videos in the hopper that are private that will become public very soon as we get through them. But key thing is our YouTube page is in the process of getting back active. Why is this not? And I would like everybody on the call to subscribe to our YouTube page. We've got 128 subscribers. Just need, you know, all the support that we can get. We talk about promotions and propaganda. This will be another one of our primary propaganda tools, but we need individuals to tap in to receive that information. So any questions, comments on our Division 421 YouTube page? Somebody unmuted. Sister or QB Holiday, you had your hand up. I'm sorry, I didn't know when. I didn't see it. Did you still have a question or anything? QB Holiday. Mama, we can hear your background.
Oh, okay.
Can you mute your line, Mama Amina?
Yeah, I will. Let me go back. Shoot.
Okay, QB, I'm gonna lower your hand. If your question come back, just raise your hand again. I will try to get to you quickly. Last slide, most important slide, the organization slide. As always, like I said, it's about membership. It's about organization. It's about moving from unification to organization. We're all on this call because we're unified. We have similar principles: race first, self-reliance, self-pride, racial pride, do for self, general principles. We're unified in that. It's time for us to get organized through registered membership, cbpm.org/join 421. Economic organization, member dues, cbpm.org/421 funds. That's our automatic payment system. And then monthly dues or donations can be received through Cash App as well. Cash App $UNIA-421 fund. But at the end of the day, we can talk all day, but it's about organization from a human standpoint and an economic standpoint. So I wanted to end my presentation with a call to organize and have a collective economy. Any questions, comments on anything that I presented? And I'll move to member share. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. I know that was long, a lot longer than normal. Hopefully it was some information that was useful. At this time, we will.
Can you hear me?
Greetings. Yes.
Yes, I know you're about to end. This is Mama Bronte, and I wanted to just say I was here for at least an hour listening to everyone. And on your calendar, I want you to add the Caucasian Cultural Festival, which will be on the 25th and also of September. And I also want to announce that the Pan-African Affairs Movement just launched its own website, and then PAFM-NorthAmerica.org. That's PAFM-NorthAmerica.org. So those are two announcements I wanted to make. And UNIA has always been supportive of PAFM, and we meet every second Saturday online. So just want to add that before you close out.
Thank you, Sister Nobantu. Okay, but thank you, Sister Nobantu. You said PAFM-NorthAmerica.com. Okay. All right. We're gonna jump over into member share. It's 7:45. Per our conference call ground rules, please try to stick to 3 minutes. First member that I want to bring in is our lady president. Oh, well, and as always, brothers, we must be good listeners and allow our sisters to go first. First sister I want to bring in as our lady president, Mama Amina. Greetings, Mama Amina. You're on mute still. Mama Amina, you there? Okay. Mama Amina may have stepped away. We will go to our first lady vice president, Sister Tanea. Greetings, Sister Tanea. Oh, Mama Amina.
John, I'm here.
Greetings, Mama Amina. Did you want to share anything with the family?
Right. Perfect. Hopefully we'll start meeting with our sisters. So this first aid that we're gonna do for the organization, we can get started with that venture. And one second. I think we need to make a little black doll or some kind of something, or maybe I'm gonna try to make something, and I'll see how it goes.
Understand. From a production and manufacturing standpoint, my main priority for the division is flags.
Flags, yeah.
We need to be producing flags first and foremost, and
You're
then
right.
other things would come after.
All right.
But thank you, Mama Amina, for being here with us and serving as our lady president. Next sister I'll bring in is our first lady vice president, Sister Tanea. Sister Tanea, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I just want to say, apologize for my rant earlier. Even though I meant what I said, I've been trying to work on how I say things to make sure that they're not offensive to other people. That's one thing I've been trying to work on, because a lot of times when I be thinking stuff in my head and by the time it come out my mouth, it don't be the way that it was in my head. So so just forgive me if anybody was offended or anything like that, which I don't think I was, but I just want to apologize in case. And that's about it, because we are short on time.
Thank you, Sister Tanea. From my standpoint, to those that were offended, I hope they accept the apology. I didn't see any reason for you to have to apologize. You're speaking your truth. You're speaking your feelings, and it's when we're not allowed to speak our truth and speak our feelings, that's when we kind of things blow up, or we just walk away and we never hear from a person and don't know what happened. It's because they weren't allowed to express themselves. But I understand you 200%. No need for apology here. And just to reiterate to the membership, we need individuals that are ready to step up and take some of the load off of those that have been carrying the organization for years. So just a call for everybody that's capable to step up and carry some of this responsibility.
And then I just wanted to say that it was for my tone, because I meant everything I said.
Understand.
But I also know that the way that you say things can affect your message, and I'm trying to work on that with myself. It's to learn how to say things in a way to get my message across without, coming off too aggressive or whatever.
Understand.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Let me see. We got one more sister I think it's sister on our conference line on a Zoom. QB Holiday, are you? I'm not familiar with the name of your brother or sister. Please forgive me. QB Holiday. Greetings. Did you want to share anything with the family? This is member share, so it's anything. It doesn't have to be about the topic that we discussed tonight.
Right on. So please, the reason I'm reaching out to, as you reaching out, I thank you so much. Actually, I just wanted to actually donate. And so the thing is that I was at one point living in the chapter. So now I'm in a specific other place. So that's all I want to say. At the same time, I support 100%, and I thank you so much for all you do and all the chapter does, because I benefited from it in ways that enlightenment and being illuminated, a clarity and understanding, and I thank you so much. I am actually a nurse, and then I have transported to another location. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Sister QB. If you don't mind, what location or what city are you in now?
Right now I'm in Chicago, and so I was told that there were several chapters, and I was on the chapter, I think 421, if I'm okay to say that. I don't say too much information, but the thing is that now I'm in Chicago, and I travel, so here I'm told that there are some chapters here. So I don't know.
Yes,
I need some help.
not a problem. Let me see. Yes, there are two chapters. Two of our oldest divisions are in Chicago, Division 401 and Division 429. I'll put text me or something later. I'll get you their information.
I appreciate you, brother. Please, I don't want to keep you because I know you're reaching out to so many other collaborations. But the thing is that I don't know how do then you message so that you can get the correct information. You understand? But I do get information from the chapter.
You said a question. How do you do what to get the right information?
Thank you for asking. I have a mask on, so I'm saying that I don't know how to send a message to you through via text or a phone number or something like that. You already have my email because I get information on when, I don't want to keep you long, but I just need to know how to communicate so that I can hear in Chicago area now. And at the same time, I would like to continue, you know what I mean? And then donate as well. So
QB, I put my cell number in the chat. So if you could just text me with your name, and I'll make sure you got all the information you need, because we've got a lot of members in our database. And I'm not, your name's not super familiar, so I don't know if it's in our if you're a registered member.
Yeah, I understand. The thing is whether I'm registered, however that populates, is that I always get, when you're doing the chapters, doing some, like what we're doing right now, as far as reaching out and such things of that nature. So I get the information. So anyway, I don't want to keep you long because I know you have to reach out to other people, but I do appreciate everything that the chapter is doing. And I do appreciate, the reaching out of the communities and such of that nature, not only communities, but abroad, statewide, nationwide. As you see, I'm a traveler. So yes, I thank you so much.
Thank you, Sister QB. One final question. You say you get the email. Do you get the text? Did you get the text?
Yes, sir. That's how I know how to connect.
Okay. So
this is the situation is, I don't need to explain it much more, but the thing is that I'm working some long hours and I work first responder. So the thing is on top of all this other stuff, yes, I can get on, and link when I can, and I'm grateful to be able to be at such a time as this right now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Sister QB. If you want, you can just respond back to the text that you have been receiving. That way.
Right on, my brother. I thank you so much, and God blessings to everyone. And I appreciate the chapter for all we populate to do. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Race first. All right, we'll go to our next sister on a Zoom line, and then we'll jump over to our conference line and catch our sisters on the conference line. Next sister that we've got, Sister Ifaniyi.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to let you know I really enjoyed the meeting tonight, and I have nothing else to say. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak. Race first.
Race first. Thank you, Sister Ifaniyi. You've been a long time supporter of the division, and we appreciate that. Okay. Were there any other sisters on Zoom? Sisters on Zoom before we go to the conference line? Okay. All right, I'm gonna jump over to the conference line. First sister I want to bring in, and I know you spoke a little bit, Sister Nabantu, but I'm going based on who joined the conference line first, and you are the first one. So, Sister Nabantu, was there anything that you wanted to add? Sister Nabantu? Oh, wait. Is my phone working? Okay. Okay, well, we'll go to the next sister on the conference line. UNIA member 311, our Black Cross Nurse Coordinator, Sister Erica.
No, nothing to say.
Nothing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Erica, for being here with us. And Sister Erica, did you hear two things? One, there was a sister that's a nurse that is supporting us, but I think she's in Chicago, so she may not be able to support us directly. And two, Mama Amina, you made a comment. Oh, trying to get the sisters on board for the medical information that we presented today.
Yes, I heard that. Excited to see how many people we can get it started and get our medical training going. So yeah, we'll see.
Thank you. Thank you, Sister Erica. Appreciate it. So we got two sisters left on our conference line. Next sister I want to bring in UNIA member 394 out of Suffolk, Virginia, Sister Mary. Greetings, Sister Mary. And greetings, Sister Mary. I'll start there.
Greetings. I pray all is well with everyone. I basically like to share, briefly, and I hope I'm not out of order in sharing this. But you said you can share anything outside the topic.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, you're fine.
Well, for those who may know, my mom and I have been challenged with fighting for preserving our legacy, which is our land, and we've been in court for like 5 years. So there's almost a closure to that, but it seems like still delays for some reason, even though it's favorable. But in the interim, we're having to go back to court for a protective order, which this judge for the Suffolk court is refusing to give my mom and I our broadened permanent protective order, even in spite of these individual that encroached on our family estate have left the property. And but they have come back and threatened to shoot me. And so and in spite of the magistrate given emergency protective order, and that only lasted 72 hours, but we went to court on a preliminary protective order, which the judge granted and set a hearing. When we went to the hearing, this judge did not, to kind of fast forward the protective order, and he didn't know whether to believe either one of us. But I had paid this lawyer to represent my mom and I as the opposing or the parties and this guy that threatened me that has been living on our land for the past 5 years, attorney, has been there at every drop of a dime fighting us tooth and nail, which, I don't know if it's him that wants our land or some, other enemies behind the scenes that's driving this train. But anyway, this judge, even the lawyer that I hired, spoke one way before we went to court. And then when he got before the judge, I didn't even know who this lawyer was. And then prior to going before the judge, he went in the conference room when court was in session, on other cases, which was, unexpected to me. And when he went in this conference room and talked with the guys that I have the emergency of trying to get this emergency protective order against attorney, he came back out to the room with I didn't even know who he was when he went before the judge. And he was arguing about the land instead of arguing about the fact that this guy threatened me. So the judge denied the protective order. And the attorney that I paid declined representing us on the appeal, which I told him I was going to file an appeal, which he said, well, I can't represent you on appeal. And I'm like, I paid you $1,000. What are you talking about? But anyway, I ended up having to file the appeal on my own. And so, but prior to going to court, I found an attorney outside of the Suffolk area that find it to be egregious what has happened to me and my mom for the past 5 years, and these attorneys that have robbed us blind. So this attorney has offered to represent us pro bono. The Suffolk Police Department are not doing anything to, offer us any form of protection. So I've had to reach out to private security services, which, costs. And so the appeal date it was set for, their opposing attorney tried to push it all the way to October on the protective order. And so the attorney that's representing us out of Fairfax County said that was not acceptable. So they gave us June 7th, then they turned around and changed it to June 21st. So, but in the meantime, I'm having, I'm very, I'm very in fear of my mom and my safety, who is 101 years old. And so I've had to hire, private security services, which is, it's very expensive. And I can't afford it 24 hours around the clock. So I would like to, if it is okay, if anyone would like to help, and making a donation to help me and my mom out with security services. I mean, I've had to, I buy, some protection for me and my mom. And I have to get, proper training for, doing so. But in the meantime, we live in a rural area that's dark. And so if I may, I like to offer my Cash App. Anything would be appreciated. My Cash App is $1921H, the letter H for Hill, small letter H. It's $1921, small letter H for Hill. If not, just keep us in prayer that this will come to a close. I do appreciate this a lawyer that says that she's not going to stop until everyone is held accountable, because she felt that what has happened to my mom and I are not just elder abuse, civil rights violation, but also human rights, because she feels like they didn't even treat my mom like a human being. She felt like they just treated her like a piece of land that they just want to take from her. So I just want to share that with you guys. And race first.
Race first, Sister Mary. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here with us. You've also been a longtime supporter of CBPM, particularly. And I don't know if you know, but your story is getting more recognition. Do you remember Sister Rhoda Young?
Yeah.
The news the news reporter, and I saw the article. Well, I saw the film that she, or the recording she put together with you and your mom and the attorney. I shared that with the group on Zoom. The link to it. It's about a 30-minute video, but it adds validity to everything that Sister Mary is saying. Sometimes Sister Mary, and I'm sure you're familiar with it. In our position, a lot of times we get calls for help from different people in different areas, and we don't always know if it's legitimate. However, based on what I've seen recently, I know for sure everything that you've mentioned to us is legitimate and a real need. So you definitely have the privilege to promote your Cash App. And if there's anything that we can do from Atlanta to support you in Suffolk, we will do that. I'm from the 757 area myself, from Hampton. But so I know, I know the area. We stay out of Suffolk as much as we can, just because we know about that area as well. So you have our support, and anything you need, please let us know.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Any questions, comments for Sister Mary? Cash App, $1921 lowercase h. That's correct, Sister Mary.
Yes. Thank you.
Is the person a Black person who's harassing her?
You hear that, Sister Mary?
No, I didn't understand it.
My member on the conference line asked, is the person that's harassing you a Black person?
Yes.
Hold on.
Oh Lord.
Yes. So, yeah, it's from what I saw in the video, is it a family or something of Black people?
Well, it's a couple. It's a girlfriend, boyfriend, that encroached on our family estate, and but the other people that were with them were witnesses that were going to get on their stand and lie or just throw me under the bus. But the opposing, they didn't realize this lawyer that has been representing them for the past 5 years on the litigation of our land, as well as us in and out of court on threats, harassment, that him and this guy and his girlfriend have been found guilty multiple times, but it continues to escalate, and the court gives no redress or relief. So this time when we went to court on another protective, asking for another Barton protective order, they had these witnesses. So, which I didn't recognize them in the beginning. I didn't know who they were. Like, I mean, they weren't around in April when this guy threatened me. And so, but then it dawned on me later that I remember them going in and out of my family property, which, someone said, was suspicious activity, like drug related. So then it rang a bell because I had video footage of people going in and out, with suspicious activity going on in the past. So, but the lawyer, the guy's lawyer, he had all his paperwork spread it out on the table, and with these witnesses going ready to go before the judge because they thought that I was representing myself. I didn't have an attorney, but the attorney that came down from Fairfax, when she came in, the court was about to, the judge was getting ready to come in for my case to be heard when she walked in. And I let, the clerk know that, she was traveling from out of town. But as soon as they saw that I had an attorney, the guy attorney asked for a continuance because he needed to subpoena 2 more witnesses that he didn't have time to subpoena, and which were the police officers. So, the judge, so the lawyer that's representing me said, well, we like to, be able to subpoena 2 other witnesses too. And so, and then he wanted to argue that, that his client had just gotten served the week before, and he didn't have time to subpoena. And so anyway, there was a continuance. So the continuance was granted. But if that attorney hadn't walked in, if I was representing myself as pro se, they were ready to throw me under the bus and try to slander my character or whatever they had plotted to do. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah.
Sister QB, you had your hand raised. Sister QB?
Yeah, oh. Yes,
You all right? Sister QB, did you want to say something? Sister QB. Sister QB? Sister QB, are you all right?
I'm trying to.
Everything okay?
I apologize. Hello?
Yes, we hear you.
Please, QB, thank you so much.
You didn't want to share anything, Sister QB?
No, I just wanted to, I was listening, so I thank you.
Okay.
For
You
his
had raised-
sister just reaching out. Is this Maddie? I think, I don't know.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the 100% support is amongst us all. And the thing is that I had already sent a message in chat that willing to do whatever as a partner we can do to help sister as a contributor. I mean, being honest, I've contributed to gratefully saying and humbly saying organizations, but the thing is that I found out that how we contribute and where we give, we have to be knowledgeable of how we give.
Yes.
You know, and
Sister QB, you went on mute. Sister QB? Okay. Okay. Well, let me try to.
But the thing is
Right.
being honest, being a supporter and directing certain avenues and monies to a certain lane. My brother, I can say, I just was trying to do the right thing, but I found out that sometimes doing the right thing to our understanding is not always the right thing. We do something according to feeling like we are playing a part, but I found out that I was trying to play a part and I really wasn't imparting. If you understand.
I think so. You may be going into something that we probably don't want to share at this time, though.
And that's why, yes,
Okay.
that's why I just dress it up like that, you know. What I was really saying.
You on mute again. Sister QB, you're on mute.
Yeah, that's all. I wasn't trying to say nothing extra.
Okay.
My brother.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you so much. Always really leaving out is that sometimes.
You went on mute again. You were leaving out sometimes.
The lesson learned, what I'm saying,
Oh.
is the sister was reaching out because she had already contributed and she's a supporter.
Yes.
And the thing is, when there's a time of need, my monies could have went to, you get me? Yeah, so the thing is that I'm saying is, there's nothing wrong with supporting and being honestly supporting to certain aspects or organizations or whatever. But the thing is that when there's a believer and a supporter, the thing is that we should reach out, and that's all I was trying to say. And I thank you so much for allowing me to say something small. Thank you, my brother.
No problem. Not a problem.
Yes, right on. Thank you.
All right. I think there's one other sister, brothers. I thank you for your patience. UNIA member 284, Sister Aziza. Attorney Emotep, we have you and Sister Aziza as one. So that's how marriage is, right? Attorney Emotep, Sister Aziza.
Yes, she's not on the line right now.
Okay. Well, with that being said, she was our last sister, and I'll open the floor up to you as our first brother for membership.
Okay, thank you, President John. Race first.
Race first.
Everyone. Just briefly, 2 days ago, June the 10th, 1940, is the date that the Honorable Barbie transitioned.
Yes, sir.
There in London, England. And today, June 12th, 1963, was the date that Brother Medgar Wiley Evans was assassinated there in Jackson, Mississippi.
Oh, wow.
June 12th.
June 12th, 1963. It was the day, June 11th, the day before was when George Wallace stood in the doorway there of the University of Alabama to prevent the brother and sister from registering. And then President at the time, Kennedy, gave a White House message. There was a broadcast on TV, and the Medgar's family was watching the newscast of President Kennedy gave this civil rights message when they heard the shot there, and that was Medgar coming home, working at the NAACP office, and he was shot in the back there. When I was living in Jackson, I had the opportunity to visit the house there. The house is now owned by the Toulouse College, and they permit some tours at times, and so I was able to go inside the house there, and you can imagine this was 63. I don't know if the house was built in the 50s or whatever, but it was an experience to see how what the house looked like, at the time, and I just have so much respect for Brother Medgar. He was a soldier. Much respect, and so we just should remember him on this day here, June 12th, 1963. And that's it. That's all I want to share. Thank you, President John, and race first.
Race first. Thank you, Attorney Emotep. Excellent points for us to remember. First, June 10th, 1940. We can't forget that date as Garveyites, the date of Garvey's transition in London. And June 12th, 1963, I believe you said, the transition of Medgar Evers. Yes, thank you, Attorney Imhotep, for those two excellent reminders. We cannot, forget our heroes, our martyrs. In order for their legacy to live on, it's up to us. So thank you, Attorney Imhotep, for reminding us of these great individuals. Next brother I want to go to, brother's been on the conference line waiting patiently and respectfully. Have not heard from this brother in a little while, but he's always been supporting our division chaplain, UNIA member 292, Chaplain Mitchell.
Yes, greetings, brothers and sisters. I hope all is well with everybody. I haven't heard from a lot of you all for a while. I don't have much to say. I just pray that everyone is doing well and that everyone is in good spirits. All right, peace.
Thank you, Chaplain Mitchell. Always a pleasure to hear from you. Thank you for being here with us. That is everybody on the conference line. Let me jump back over to the Zoom, and first brother that usually joins the call on the Zoom, UNIA member 172 in Brooklyn, New York, Dr. Shams. Greetings, Dr. Shams.
Race first.
Race first, Dr. Shams.
Yeah, I hope, that with what we learned this evening, that we stop taking things for granted, that we become more proactive, find ways to unite and organize better, and also helping the propagation effort to bring in more members, because with more members, we feel more comfortable and we could do a whole lot more if we had the members. But if a few people are doing all the propagating, then, we're not reaching the full scale of what we should. So I hope that everybody can somehow help in the propagation and media effort. And I was very grateful. I was thankful that WBLS this morning mentioned the CBPM and the UNIA-ACL on major Black radio, for hip hop, rhythm and blues, talk shows and what have you. But that is one of our outstanding stations next to WLIB on an AM dial, I think it is. That was very good. That was very thoughtful and very much appreciated, at least by me, and I hope for others, for WBLS to be able to announce who we are and, just say a few words about us, But we need to be more proactive all the way around.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And to bring it back to a local standpoint, because brother Dr. Shams is out of Brooklyn, New York, but we also need to have those local relationships with the radio. I think WRFG is one of our local community-based radio stations that we've had a good relationship with in the past. We worked with them to promote Marcus Garvey Day, but yeah, we have to develop these relationships and as well as expand these relationships. But excellent point, Dr. Shams, and thank you for that. Race first. All right, we've only got a couple brothers left as far as I see. I want to bring in our next brother, brother supporting the CBPM out of Annandale, Virginia, Brother Art. Greetings, Brother Art.
Greetings, family. I just want to share the struggle continues and we must all get to work.
Yes, sir.
Race first.
Yes, sir. Race first. Nice, short, sweet, to the point. Sometimes I talk too much. I like that, Can't really get confused if it's short and sweet to the point. But yes, the struggle continues, and we must all get active. Thank you, Brother Art. And next brother, I think it's the last brother that we've got, Baba James out of Atlanta. Greetings, Baba James.
Greetings, President John. I want to first say I really appreciate your efforts and movements as our president. And I would definitely like to add a suggestion, and I'm sure our members are not opposed to you giving us some orders. Because you are the president.
Yes,
You don't
sir.
always have to ask. It's okay for you to demand of your people because we have chosen you to be our leader.
Yes, sir.
Race first.
Race first. Thank you, Baba James. I will take that directive, seriously. One thing I will say, as this being my first year, it's a learning process, and as one of the things President Ross Marvin teaches is respect. Respect for those that have come before you, respect for those that allow you, to be in the position that you're in, but just having a level of respect. And that's been my approach this year, is to, be extremely respectful of everyone, respecting their time, respecting their resources, their abilities. But I do hear you, and I will heed to that statement. Moving forward, if I am blessed to be reelected as president, we got to try some things differently. They say insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So we have to try some different things and be a little more intentional about what we want to do and how we want our vision to come to fruition. So I hear you, Baba James, and I hope everyone else on the call hears you. So, I can at least say that you've been warned. So thank you, Baba James.
You can tell them I said it.
I got you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it.
Peace through power. Race first.
So I think that was everyone. Final call. Was there anyone that did not get a chance to share or would like to? Yeah, that anyone did not get a chance to share. Okay. Last call. Anyone that did not get a chance to share before we move to close? Okay. Thank you, members, and thank you, brothers, for being patient and allowing the sisters to go first. We are 29 minutes past our closing time, so I appreciate everybody for staying on and allowing us to get through the information that we had. We didn't have we were supposed to have our last meeting was supposed to be May 21st or 22nd, but that was on Malcolm X Day, so we missed that meeting, and I would like to think that's why this meeting is so long. Just if there's information that's important or critical or needs to be shared, I would like to take the time to go over it. So thank you for being patient. And with that, we will close out and enjoy the rest of our Sunday evening. You come off mute, repeat after me. One God.
One God.
One aim.
One aim.
One destiny.
One destiny.
Africa for the Africans.
Africa for the African.
Those at home and those abroad.
Those at home and those abroad.
Race first, family.
Race first.
Race first.
Please don't. Oh, wait. This thing better be recording. Okay, yeah, I was about to say